Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings. This is the reading for day 126. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year in a non-leap year, this is for May 6th, or in a leap year for May 5th. The Old Testament reading is from Judges 4 and Judges 5. Judges 4. And again the Israelites did evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and Ehud died. So Yahweh sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor. The commander of his army was Sisera, and he was living in Harosheth Hagoyim. And the Israelites cried to Yahweh, as he had 900 iron chariots, and he oppressed the Israelites cruelly for 20 years. Now at that time Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, was judging Israel. And she used to sit under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim. And the Israelites went up to her for judgment. She sent and called for Barak, son of Abinoam from Kadesh Naphtali, and said to him, Has not Yahweh the God of Israel commanded you? Go, march to Mount Tabor, and take 10,000 men from the descendants of Naphtali and Zebulun. I will draw out Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, with his chariots and troops to the wadi of Kishon, and I will give him into your hand. Barak said to her, If you go with me, I will go. But if you do not go with me, I will not go. She said, Surely I will go with you. However, there will be no glory for you in the path you are taking, for Yahweh will sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah stood up and went with Barak to Kadesh. Barak summoned Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and they went up behind him, 10,000 men, and Deborah went up with him. And Heber the Kenite was separated from the other Kenites, that is, from the descendants of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, and he was encamped at Elon Bezananim, which is near Kadesh. When they reported to Sisera that Barak, son of Abinoam, had gone up to Mount Tabor, Sisera summoned all his chariots, all 900 chariots of iron, and the entire army that was with him from Harosheth Hagoyim to the wadi of Kishon. And Deborah said to Barak, Get up, this is the day that Yahweh has given Sisera into your hand. Has Yahweh not gone out before you? So Barak went out from Mount Tabor with 10,000 men following him. And Yahweh threw Sisera and all his chariots and army into confusion before the edge of Barak's sword, and Sisera dismounted from his chariot and fled on foot. But Barak pursued after the chariots and army as far as Harosheth Hagoyim, and all of Sisera's army fell to the edge of the sword. No one was left. Sisera fled on foot to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, because there was peace between Jabin, king of Hazor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael came out to meet Sisera, and she said to him, Turn aside, my lord, turn aside to me, and do not be afraid. So he turned aside into her tent, and she covered him with a blanket. And he said to her, Please give me a drink of water, because I am thirsty. So she opened a skin vessel of milk and gave him a drink and covered him. And he said to her, Stand at the doorway of the tent, and if anyone comes and asks you and says, Is there anyone here? You must answer, No. But Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, took in her hand a tent peg and a hammer. And she went softly to him and drove the peg into his temple, and it went through into the ground. He was fast asleep since he was exhausted, and he died. And behold, Barak was pursuing Sisera, and Jael went out to meet him, And she said to him, "Come, and I will show you the man whom you are seeking." And he came with her, and saw that Sisera was lying dead with the peg in his temple. On that day God subdued Jabin, king of Canaan, before the Israelites. And the hand of the Israelites pressed harder and harder on Jabin, king of Canaan, until they destroyed Jabin, king of Canaan. Judges chapter 5. And Deborah and Barak, son of Abinoam, sang on that day, "When long hair hangs loosely in Israel, when the people willingly offer themselves, bless Yahweh. Hear, O kings, give ear, O princes. I will sing to Yahweh. I will sing praise to Yahweh, the God of Israel. Yahweh, when you went down from Seir, when you marched from the region of Edom, the earth trembled, the heavens poured down, the clouds poured down water. The mountains trembled before Yahweh, this Sinai at the presence of Yahweh, the God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the caravans had ceased. The travelers they kept to the byways. The warriors ceased. They failed to appear in Israel until I, Deborah, arose. I arose as a mother in Israel. God chose new leaders, then war was at the gates. A small shield or a spear was not seen among 40,000 in Israel. My heart goes out to the commanders of Israel, those offering themselves willingly upon the people. Bless Yahweh. The riders of white female donkeys, those sitting on saddle blankets, and those going on the way, talk about it. At the sound of those dividing the sheep among the watering places, there they will recount the righteous deeds of Yahweh, the righteous deeds for his warriors in Israel. Then the people of Yahweh went down to the gates. Wake up, Deborah, wake up, sing a song. Get up, Barak, take captive your captives, O son of Abinoam. Then the remnant went down to the nobles. The people of Yahweh went down for him against the mighty. From Ephraim is their route into Amalek. After you, Benjamin, with your family. From Machir the commanders went down, and from Zebulun those carrying the scepter of the military commander. And the chiefs in Issachar were with Deborah, and Issachar likewise was with Barak. Into the valley he was sent to get him from behind. Among the clans of Reuben were great decisions of the heart. Why do you sit among the sheepfolds to hear the calling sounds of the herds? For the clans of Reuben there were great searchings of the heart. Gilead has remained beyond the Jordan. Why did Dan dwell as a foreigner with ships? Asher sat at the coast of the waters, and by his coves he has been settling down. Zebulun is a people who scorned death, and Naphtali on the heights of the field. The kings came, they fought. Then the kings of Canaan fought, at Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo. They got no plunder and silver. The stars fought from heaven. From their courses they fought against Sisera. The Wadi torrent of Kishon swept them away. The raging Wadi torrent, the Wadi torrent of Kishon. March on, my soul, with strength. Then the hooves of the horse beat loudly, because of galloping of his stallions. Curse Meroz, says the angel of Yahweh. Curse bitterly its inhabitants, because they did not come to the help of Yahweh, to the help of Yahweh against the mighty. Most blessed of women is Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Most blessed is she of women among tent dwellers. He asked for water, and she gave milk. In a drinking bowl for nobles she brought curds. She reached out her hand to the peg, and her right hand for the workman's hammer. And she struck Sisera, crushed his head, and she shattered and pierced his temple. Between her feet he sank, he fell, he lay. Between her feet he sank down, he fell. Where he sank down, there he fell dead. Through the window she looked down. The mother of Sisera cried out through the lattice, "Why is his chariot delayed in coming? Why do the hoof beats of his chariot tarry?" The wisest of her ladies answer her. She also answers the question herself. Are they not finding and dividing the plunder? A bedmate or 2 bedmates for every man? Colorful garments for Sisera, plunder of colorful garments, beautifully finished colorful garments on the neck of the plunderer. So may all your enemies perish, O Yahweh, but those who love him are like the rising sun at its brightest. And the land had rest for 40 years. The New Testament reading is from John chapter 4, beginning at verse 43, through John chapter 5, concluding at verse 15. John 4:43. And after the 2 days he departed from there into Galilee. For Jesus himself testified that a prophet has no honor in his own homeland. So when he came to Galilee, the Galileans welcomed him because they had seen all the things he had done in Jerusalem at the feast, for they themselves had also come to the feast. Now he came again to Cana in Galilee, where he had made the water wine. And there was at Capernaum a certain royal official whose son was sick. This man, when he heard that Jesus had come from Judea into Galilee, went to him and asked that he come down and heal his son, for he was about to die. So Jesus said to him, "Unless you people see signs and wonders, you will never believe." The royal official said to him, "Sir, come down before my child dies." Jesus said to him, "Go, your son will live." The man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him, and he departed. Now, as he was going down, his slaves met him, saying that his child was alive. So he inquired from them the hour at which he had gotten better. Then they said to him, "Yesterday, at the 7th hour, the fever left him." So the father knew that it was that same hour at which Jesus said to him, "Your son will live." And he himself believed, and his whole household. Now this is again a second sign Jesus performed when he came from Judea into Galilee. John chapter 5. After these things there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool called in Aramaic Bethesda, which has 5 porticos. In these were lying a large number of those who were sick, blind, lame, and paralyzed. And a certain man was there who had been 38 years in his sickness. Jesus, when he saw this one lying there and knew that he had been sick a long time already, said to him, "Do you want to become well?" The one who was sick answered him, "Sir, I do not have anyone that, whenever the water is stirred up, could put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another goes down before me." Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." And immediately the man became well, and picked up his mat and began to walk. Now it was the Sabbath on that day. So the Jews were saying to the one who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath, and it is not permitted for you to pick up the mat." But he answered them, "The one who made me well, that one said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is the man who said to you, 'Pick up your mat and walk'?" But the one who was healed did not know who it was, for Jesus had withdrawn while a crowd was in the place. After these things, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "Look, you have become well. Sin no longer, lest something worse happen to you." The man went and reported to the Jews that Jesus was the one who made him well. The wisdom literature reading is from Psalm 57, verses 1 through 6. Psalm 57. For the music director, according to Do Not Destroy, of David, a miktam, when he fled from Saul into the cave. Be gracious to me, O God, be gracious to me, because in you my soul takes refuge. In the shadow of your wings I will take refuge until destruction passes by. I will call to God Most High, to God who accomplishes things concerning me. He will send from heaven and save me. He will reproach the one who tramples me. God will send His loyal love and His faithfulness. My soul is among lions. I lay down among those who devour. The children of humankind whose teeth are spears and arrows and whose tongues are sharp swords. Be exalted above the heavens, O God. Let your glory be above all the earth. They have set a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have dug a pit before me. They have fallen into the midst of it. This concludes the reading for day 126. Thank you for listening. These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the Global Outreach Ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.